We turn now to the news that the CIA has determined that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman personally ordered the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul joins us now from Bowling Green. Senator, the president says a final conclusion will be made this week by the U.S. government. But in a Fox interview, he indicated that essentially murder can be forgiven if the kingdom provides economic benefit. Listen to this exchange.
What if the Crown Prince, speaking to you, the President of the United States, directly lied to you about
Well, he told me that he had nothing to do with it. He told me that, I would say, maybe 5 times at different points.
So what if he's lying?
As recently as a few days ago.
Do you just live with it because you need him?
Well, will anybody really know? All right, will anybody really know? But he did have certainly people that were reasonably close to him that were probably involved. You saw we put on very heavy sanctions, massive sanctions on a large group of people from Saudi Arabia. But at the same time, we do have an ally, and I want to stick with an ally that in many ways has been very good.
What do you make of the president's remarks?
Well, you know, the Crown Prince, his brother, made a phone call to Khashoggi, the dissident that was killed and dismembered. And that phone call was to tell Khashoggi, hey, it's fine, you can go to the consulate, no one will harm you. Well, you know, we have the Crown Prince's brother making that phone call. I think we have other intelligence that may link brother's phone calls back to the Crown Prince. I think the evidence is overwhelming that the Crown Prince was involved. And so, no, I don't think we can sweep this under the rug. The thing about sanctions is that I think sanctions are pretending to do something without really doing anything. Most of these people are in prison other than the Crown Prince. But the Crown Prince runs the country and we deal with him. If we put sanctions on people who are in prison, are we really doing anything to punish them? They're already in prison. We need to punish who ordered this, who's in charge, and really the only thing they understand over there is strength. I think they will see sanctions as weakness on the part of the president. And if the president wants to act strongly, he should cut off the arms sale, not only because of the killing, but until they stop bombing civilian populations. Secretary Pompeo told Saudi Arabia 3 weeks ago, stop bombing civilian populations. Since then, Saudi Arabia has bombed cities 200 times. They're not listening.
You're talking
They're
about
indiscriminately bombing civilians. Yes,
You're talking about in Yemen. I should point out Saudi Arabia disputes the reporting that there was a phone call between Prince Khalid and Jamal Khashoggi. They say that's just not true. But given the CIA assessment overall that says there was a role, do you think this needs to trigger some other kind of change in policy? You're on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Are you going to try to block the appointment of the appointed ambassador?
Realize the Saudis have told us a lot of things that were untrue. They told us it was a fist fight that went bad. They told us he was alive. They had a body double there to try to trick people into believing he was still alive. So the Saudis have been duplicitous since the very beginning. Do we need to do more? Yes. But at the very least, we need to quit selling arms to people who lie to us.
The president says that that's exactly why, though. Those arms sales are exactly why the relationship is important, and he's not going to hurt the economic benefits.
Yeah, here's my point. The arms sales don't make us safer. They make us less safe. When we sell arms to a foreign country, it should not ever be for jobs. It should be for our national security. The Saudis involving us in their war in Yemen is a disaster. 17 million people live on the edge of starvation. If we get involved in another civil war in the Middle East, that's not good for our national security. That just drains our natural resources. Yeah, I'd quit arming the Saudis. The Saudis are bombing to the tune of tens of thousands of bombs in Yemen.
Is there anything you can do? Because the president says he's going to continue selling.
Right, yeah. I've introduced resolution after resolution to stop selling arms. We've done it twice, and it's a privileged resolution, meaning they can't prevent me from getting a vote. First time I got 20-something votes. The second time, with the help of a Democrat Senator, Chris Murphy, we got 47 votes. If we have another vote, I think we could almost get to a veto-proof majority, but guess what? They're not bringing any arms sales up right now because they know we might beat them.
What about the ambassador who's been nominated here, General John Abizaid? You going to vote to confirm him?
I want to meet with him, and I don't think that really, my first impulse is that's not the way to sort of punish Saudi Arabia by blocking an ambassador. I'm a big believer in dialogue, and even with this, I wouldn't stop trading oil with Saudi Arabia, but I would stop selling them arms. That's the first thing I would do. That doesn't disrupt trade, doesn't disrupt diplomacy. It just sends them a very strong message. We're not going to keep fueling your war in Yemen, which is a total disaster. And everybody's saying there's no military solution, and yet nobody's willing to do anything that would actually force Saudi Arabia to stop the war. If we were not refueling, if we were not providing spare parts for their American-made planes, the war would be over in a matter of months, because you have to have a continuous supply of spare parts and people to repair your planes and train your pilots. If we quit doing that, Saudi Arabia would quit bombing them within 3 or 4 months.
I want to get you on domestic policy. The president has put forward a proposal that has some bipartisan support on criminal justice reform. There's no guarantee it's going to be put to vote in the lame duck session, and some of your fellow Republicans like Tom Cotton say this is just about letting felons out of jail. How do you respond?
You know, I've been working on criminal justice reform with Republicans and Democrats for 6 or 7 years. I met with President Obama several times on this, bipartisan groups. We have a real chance to pass this now. With President Trump being in favor of this criminal justice reform, he came out publicly for it. Really, it only depends on one senator now. If Senator Mitch McConnell from my home state will allow a vote, it gets 65 to 70 votes in the Senate. It'll be one of the most popular things to ever pass. Is it a jailbreak? No, it's saying people that have, you know, a non-violent drug offense, that we don't keep them in jail for life. It's saying that 95% of people that get out of prison, when they get out of prison, do we want them to keep committing crimes, or we should train them for jobs? Should we use programs to try to test whether or not we can teach people not to recommit crimes? And really, do non-violent people need to be in jail sometimes for life? We should reevaluate this.
So how do you force a vote? You're running out of time here.
Well, it's all up to one person. Senator McConnell has the ability to call any vote he wants to anytime. He has promised in the past that he would allow this vote if there was popularity for it. President Trump's behind it. In my state, 86% of the people
You're suggesting he's choosing not to.
The Fraternal Order of Police are behind it, 2,000 pastors, and I didn't get your follow-up?
It seems you're suggesting that he does not want to.
There have been some articles. I haven't talked to him directly about it. The last time I talked to him about it, he said he was open to allowing a vote after the election. Now with the President Trump all in on this, I really hope we can get a vote, but it's really up to Senator McConnell. But it's very, very popular in Kentucky and very, very popular with people who support President Trump, so I hope he allows a vote.
We will watch for that. Thank you very much, Senator Paul.
Thank you.